but it was almost too small from the beginning. We had a lot of French and German established, and then the Irish came in the 40s. So they built St. John's Cathedral. So that was finished about 1855, so that's still there. And then they used this as a school. Some of the first priests were ordained here. And then one of the priests actually bought it to preserve it. So in 1879, it was like our first preservation building. But the decor is from an 1880s Catholic church, which you would find in an 1880s church. But also remember, no matter what religion would have popped up in the villages, how important the church was to the community. First of all, everybody could fit in it. Maybe they use it as a school or a town hall meeting, but especially for the women to have a place to gather, to socialize, do their sewing, bazaar work, craft fair.
Quite impressive. If you wanted some flour, what we would do is we would offer you some brown paper, tie up with twine, and weigh it up on our scale. So the flour came bulk, typically, wheat and bleached. We also have the dried fruits that are offered. Most of these products came from other parts of this country. Apples, prunes, and raisins. Raisins and raisins. We also have cornmeal, cracked wheat, beans, and I believe there's rice in the barrel next to you. We have common crackers on the counter here. They're very hard crackers, so they're you'd have to soak them in a beverage or soups and stews. And then, of course, the Hecker self-raising flour. This was a new concept. It's pre-packaged. It didn't sell because they were so used to the bulk and seeing what they were getting that they weren't quite exactly positive. Is that what we're all going to get? And besides, is it really going to be 6 pounds? Yes or no? But it was a product, a good product on the market. Another item that's fairly new would have been the advertising.
Making a wedge to goes on well, it goes in a ring like this. Tire spoke goes in here, wheel spoke. This goes in like this, and then you hammer on this and pull the spoke out of the hub. So you haven't heard the history of that shop, we can tell you kind of history of this building. It used to stand about 40 miles north of Milwaukee, a little town up there of Waubeka. It's an Indian name, but it's where Flag Day originated. One of the school teachers decided we ought to honor the flag, so we got legislation passed, so that's where Flag Day originated. The man that built this shop was a German immigrant by the name of Mr. Frederick Revolution. He came to this country.
You would use different parts of the hide for different parts of the shoe. Your sole leather would come out of the back, which would be the thickest. As you went around the hide on the sides, you'd have a little thinner like that. And then your poorest quality and thinnest is on the underside, or what they call the belly leather. So that's usually been used as a negative term. Like if you were to buy a cheap harness, it would be made of what they call belly leather. It would tend to stretch easily and not be as strong. It wouldn't have the quality that the side or the back would have. And it could be produced. If they were making shoes, there was a procedure. They would measure your foot, which makes sense. If he didn't have a mold, a wooden mold, he would carve one to your measurements. Okay? Then you decide on the style or the pattern, and then he'd make a paper pattern, the appropriate style and size. And when you were happy with that, he would transfer it and make it out of leather. He would then take your leather pieces and sew them together. So this would be the top of the shoe. Doesn't look like it, does it? But then you'd moisten it and you'd stretch it down over that wooden mold. Then you would take 2 pieces of your sole leather, and this little piece here you could sandwich around the edge of the soles like we've done here. See how that's been sandwiched in on the edges? Sissel at this point didn't have a sewing machine. The normal routine was to put them together with wooden pegs. They'd be pegged together. And then you could stack your heels up like so, and those could be nailed in. But the wooden pegs were used, and once you did that, you'd reach inside, and if any of the tips of the wooden pegs
That's Frederick and Sophia. You notice that he didn't finish the upstairs. There's only 2 rooms finished up there for his 2 sons. He would take prospective customers up there to see the strength of the structure. And of course your dining room, there's a day bed in the corner, sewing room. He had 3 daughters that slept in here. Being a carpenter, he had a wood stove in almost every room because we had lots of wood. He grew hops and grain that he sold to the breweries in Milwaukee.
Holds 12 loaves of bread at one time, which lasted a family of 9, at the most 3 days. The pot was used for cooking meat and vegetables, and they smoked their meat on these poles up here, and this heated the house. So this was designed to conserve wood in Pomerania, and it did. But they found out before the Schultzes came to Wisconsin, in Pomerania, this new construction of this system was banned because it was found to cause lung diseases. This is a loom that we're weaving linen on. This is 150 years old, and it was built by a German farmer who lived near Sheboygan. and he was a very good craftsman. Some of the parts you can see are machine sawn and some are hand cut. They were in 1860. They were weaving linen. That's what I'm weaving here, and that's because it's right before the Civil War, when the South was not shipping cotton to the northeastern textile mills, or maybe some, but very little. And so cotton cloth was not available in great quantities outside of the southern states, and it also would have been more expensive, most likely, because there wasn't as much being produced. And so at this time period, then the women went back to what they knew how to do in Europe, and that's grow flax and process the flax into thread, and then weave cloth to make their clothing out of. When linen gets washed, it gets softer. With every washing, it gets softer. This we wove about 20 years ago, and it's very durable, lasts a long time, much longer than cotton. It doesn't take a natural dye though, so it's always all the way from tan to almost white. Something like this had a long, long life.
County by Raspberry Bay. That's of course how it got its name. 3 families were together to build the school, 2 Norwegian and 1 Swedish. For them it was very important that their children would grow up knowing what it meant to be American, so they wanted to have an American school with a native English speaking teacher. And that's what they did when the school opened in January of 1897. A German family and an English family also attended school for a while here, so 5 families altogether. Until 1914, when the youngest children graduated from the 8th grade and no one needed the school anymore, so they just closed it down. So Raspberry School was really only a school for 17 years. And we have the building set up as it was in 1906. So in the middle of its life as a school. We have a couple special original artifacts in here, including the desks that you're sitting at, except for the seats in the back row. Those are the original desks that were used by the students here. So that's kind of fun to think about. And also the welcome sign over the doorway was really made by one of the classes around 1906. It's made from scraps of wallpaper, so they were pretty creative.